Welcome back. Today I'm going to listen to and watch Afterlife by Band-Maid. I've been working my way through Band-Maid's official music catalog starting at the very beginning in 2013, and right now I've gotten all the way up to 2021 and the album Unseen World. And I've already done the first two songs on this album, which were Warning and No God, and both of those were just outstanding, especially Warning for me. Obviously, it depends on personal taste. Some people like different songs. But for me, of those two, Warning was by far the better one. Now, I do remember Afterlife. I'm pretty sure I remember the music video that was set in, I believe, a facsimile of a maid cafe, or maybe a real maid cafe, but I don't know if they made a set or used a real one. And I also know that Kobato Miku worked in a maid cafe at one point in her past, and that's where she got the idea to dress in the maid costume to play in a hard rock band. But anyway, I haven't listened to the song in a long time. As I've said repeatedly, once I started doing these reactions, all the future songs that I hadn't gotten to yet, I've tried really hard to avoid, only listening to the songs by Band-Maid that I've already covered, which is one reason I'm kind of in a hurry to get through this. Let's switch over there now. I have pulled up the official music video for Band-Maid Afterlife. You can see that I've already given it a thumbs up. That was about 2 years ago, probably, when I first got into this band. Alright, I had a little snafu switching the volume over to these headphones. For a second, the video was playing silently, so I just saw the first couple seconds, but I didn't hear it, and then got the audio set up correctly. I'm going to try again. Hopefully you won't see my flub, but I guess it doesn't matter since I just mentioned it. Band-Maid Afterlife. I am still having trouble with my audio, by the way, but I was able to hear that. Obviously, some of their music videos are just the members of Band-Maid playing the song, but as far back as Don't You Tell Me, we know they hired actors. There was a whole group of actors there in the banquet and dancing scene. And then in the video, when they were on the volcanic island, there was at least one actor hired for that video. And then when we did Start Over, of course, they hired 2 actors at least for that video. And here I've noticed that they've hired actors to play the parts of these maids in these costumes. I don't know if they chose the colors for these costumes specifically to not look like the Band-Maid maid outfits, because here this is kind of a tannish green, a khaki green color, whereas the Band-Maid outfits are, primarily black and white. But to me, it is always a little bit more interesting when they have actors playing the parts on a set rather than just the band playing in an interesting place. I like those too. And in this one, they have the band playing in what looks like a narrow hallway, and then these actors, interspersed scenes back and forth. So I like that. Back up to catch the beginning of the vocals. Sorry to pause again so soon. I just noticed the lyrics there in the closed captions where it says, I wonder, not yet, I wonder, not yet. I remember when I first heard this song and I didn't have the subtitles on there, I thought that the lyric was, I want the knife, I want the knife, which is a weird thing to say in a song like this, but maybe, someone who's that upset about something might want a knife. But anyway, that's what I thought they were saying, and now I see that it says, I wonder, not yet. So I've learned something. I'm glad I had the captions on. I am kind of enjoying the overacting here. Well, just a couple of things about that. I love that chorus, the melody of the chorus. It does sound a little poppy, but also rocky enough that it's just perfect. It's a memorable melody. As soon as I heard the notes of the melody of the chorus, I remembered it. And I'm pretty sure I've hummed that in my head since the first time that I've heard it. I also wanted to mention the sound of the guitars. I want to say I think that's Miku's guitar that's making that really lovely crunchy sound. I've been trying to pay attention to the difference in sound between Miku's guitar and Konami's guitar, and I think in the last album or two, it's been Miku who's been making that really just growly guitar sound that I love and that I remember from Domination. And back on World Domination, it might have been Konami's guitar. But here, I think it's the rhythm guitar making that sound. It sounds really nice. And wow, the bass is going nuts. In between some of the vocals, you can hear what the bass guitar is doing. Misa is playing her heart out on this one. But there are spots where everything seems to drop out just a little bit, and there's some space, and it's just the repetition of the guitar riff, which this is an amazing hard rock song. I want to keep going. From the sound of it, we might be approaching a guitar solo. I just wanted to pause and add a couple of things. But again, the bass guitar is really doing a lot of work in this song. I noticed a couple of Akane's additions during that second verse and chorus. I've mentioned that over the last couple of albums that I think Akane has shown the most improvement recently compared to all the other members. Her drumming is just top notch now, whereas at the beginning it was just good, at least in my layman's opinion. One thing I love about the video is how it starts off with one person going a little upset, and then there's another person that's wondering what's going on, and then in the next scene both of them are upset, but then there's a third person, and now three of them are upset, and there's a fourth person. I like that building of tension where each new person that enters the room or happens to be in the room is at first stunned by what's going on here and the mess that's being made, but then when you get to the next scene, they've joined in. I also liked that when one of them lit a flare or something in this scene, then suddenly it was smoky in the other scene where the band is playing. So I like that continuity between the things that are going on here. And also, this might just be a cultural difference, but I love that they think a really messy room is just some papers spilled on the floor, which in my American experience is often just the normal state of many rooms. Let's keep going. I'm going to go back to the beginning of the solo part and listen to and watch all of this part again. There was so much in there that I enjoyed. One thing that I should have mentioned at the beginning of the video is that no matter how many times I had heard each of these songs back when I first got into Band-Maid, I never listened to any of them on good headphones. I was listening to them on my phone, on my tablet, and very occasionally, when I'm lucky, in my wife's car, which has the Bluetooth thing built in. I'm hearing things here that I never heard the first time, including a ton of stuff that Misa is doing in the background, but also some of really subtle guitar things. So yeah, backing up. All right, I think I found the right spot. But I also loved the Miku scream, "Don't Say You Love Me." I remember that. I burned a hole in me the first time I heard it. And it still is just so passionate, even though her face didn't look that passionate, but the sound of it is just amazing. I love how the actors continued to act at the end of that. I had to switch off of it really quick because an ad popped up before I could pause, and then I didn't know how to get rid of the ad. So I've gone on to the next video that I've pulled up here, which is Afterlife in the online concert that they did in February 2021, which is where a bunch of the lives came from. This isn't an official live video, but it is, I believe, from that same online concert that they performed when they didn't get to go to, was it Budokan? I don't know, some big arena that they were hoping to go to, but it got canceled because of some lockdowns during the pandemic. I really enjoyed that video and the song. I hate to say this every time, but I'm going to go back to my ranked Band-Maid list and move that song up. But which songs am I going to move down? That's always the conundrum. When I go back, I'm like, oh, those songs are really good too. And I am starting to feel like my ranked list is an exercise in futility because so many of these songs are so close to being my favorite when I hear them again. And anyway, it's this huge battle that I have in my head. I want to see what it looks like live. I know that there is, at least I'm pretty sure there's no audience here for this song. Okay, number one, I guess I got my audio fixed by accident. That was much louder for me than the previous one. I don't know what it looks like in the recording that I'm making right now. But also it sounds like the effect on one of the guitars changed. Whichever one wasn't hard and gritty and crunchy in the music video, that one has upped its game, and now they both sound that way, which makes the whole sound grittier and darker and rougher. I want to say that it's Konami's sound that has changed, or maybe it's just the way that it comes through in the live. Anyway, I think it sounds great. Let's go. Okay, once again, the sound engineers for these live shows are just amazing. They deserve some kind of, Grammys or something. It's not perfect, but it just sounds better than what came off the album or what was in the official music video. Not only is the bass guitar more clear, as always, but the rhythm guitar and the lead guitar feel more separated. The drums are coming through more clearly. Miku's voice and Psyche's voice seem completely separated here. Those of you that got to see this live when it happened, I mean, what a treat. That must have been amazing. Let's go. Just another word about the sound engineering. In the music video, I had no idea that Konami was doing that during the second verse. There's a whole just separate, basically guitar solo behind the vocals that I didn't hear at all in the official music video. Here, not only did it show her doing it a few times, but I heard it even before it showed her. So that's a completely new addition to the song just because the audio engineering is different here. I believe we're about at the solos again. Let's keep going. Wow, that was really impressive. And the thing I said about the effects on Konami's guitar at the intro, I think they reintroduced that at the end there. But in the middle, her guitar sounded much like it had in the original track. It's just that darker, grittier effect was added in the intro and here at the end, I think, more to match that sound that Miku's was making. Yeah, that was pretty fun, even though it didn't have the energy of a live show. But I found a video of them doing it live with an audience. Okay, I've cut out that whole last section. I really wanted to see what it looked like and sounded like in front of a huge crowd that they had there at Yokohama Arena, but the audio in that version was just really bad. So bad that I couldn't keep going past the first 30 seconds or so. It almost sounded like somebody recorded it off the TV with their phone or something. The video looked like it was, a straight digital recording, although at a lower quality, which again was a little messed up, but the audio was unlistenable too. Unlisten-toable? Anyway, I found an instrumental version, and I really enjoy those. This, I believe, is one of the White Room videos where Psyche is absent, so we will miss her. But we also get to see what the other ladies are doing in the background while she's singing. Let's just go. Okay, well, at least in this version, I was wrong. That was clearly Konami making that jig 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 sound during, while Psyche was singing. I had thought that was Miku, and it might have been Miku in the video or in one of the lives. But here it was clearly Konami playing that part. Also, the bass coming in there, which we didn't hear because Psyche was singing at the time. That was beautiful. Let's keep going. Wow, this is like when you go to a store looking for a specific item and they're like, which one do you want? And you're like, ooh, they all seem pretty good. My eyes are darting all over the place, never sure which rectangle to focus on. And if I had the choice just to pull one of them up, which one would I choose first? And, which one would be next? Who would I save for last? Oh my goodness. It's like when you go to buy a phone and all the new phones look so much better than the one you've been struggling with. It's not like that at all. Sorry, this is so much better than that. Misa had a whole bass solo in there that we didn't know about because Psyche sang over it. Or maybe you knew about it. Oh my goodness, I never had any idea. And I did mention Akane earlier doing some really interesting things, but here it's so obvious how interesting they actually are throughout. And I definitely noticed here Miku just pausing and holding her guitar while Konami played a part that I'm positive that Miku was playing in that live. And I'm sure they had a reason for doing that. We're about halfway through. Let's keep going. first couple of times I saw one of these videos where you can see Konami's fingers the entire time during her guitar solos. The first couple of times I thought that has to be sped up footage. Her fingers just look like they're going too fast. But then time after time I've seen cell phone footage from a live show and people will be right there in front of her and it looks the same way in those. It couldn't be sped up in those. Yes, dog, I hear you. I'm in the middle of something. Sorry, not my dog. I don't have a dog that makes that kind of noise. So that's always fun to watch. I'm getting all tongue-tied here. I'm trying to say, as always, I'm really impressed with how much effort they put into the stuff that's hidden, that's buried during the vocal sections of the song. We always see them shine in the intros and in the outros and in the solo sections, the little breaks, and very occasionally we see or hear them shine while somebody's singing. But we miss so much because, at least me, my brain is attuned to follow the vocals. And so I lose focus on everything here. So that's one reason I really enjoy these instrumental versions. So glad I found this. I'm going to finish it out now. Wow, I think the only downside to that, besides missing Psyche, was the fact that their faces were hidden almost the entire time. For just a split second, Miku leaned down and I caught part of her face just for a second, and then right after that, Konami did it, caught part of her face for a second, but I don't think I saw any part of Misa's face or Akane's face in the entire video. And all of us enjoy seeing their faces, whether it's the concentration or the joy or the camaraderie, looking back and forth between each other, all those things. It's nice to look at nice things. Okay, I said it. But anyway, what a song. That was amazing. I'm definitely visiting my ranked list of their songs and seeing if I can squeeze it up any higher than wherever it is right now. The next song on my list is Manners, and I have a little confession to make. I have been listening to Manners. I added it to one of my playlists early, and I can't escape that song. I am going to watch here because I haven't watched the music video or the live video in a long time, but I have been listening to it. I love Manners so much. Anyway, that's in my next video. Who knows when I'll get to do that. Thank you for being here. I'll see you next time.